NYYST.
Hold up, why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on the boy to fail, then hold your breath and face your death. Cause you play a roulette with each step, I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bets, cause we know where we at, we know we top tier. Cause all the hate that you bring, we know it stops here. I'm taking off like a rocketeer and stopping here. It's strange how they cannot see the future, but see profit here. Wait up, we gon' always win. Promise that that's not a promise, yeah, that is a threat. You know that I promise to bring the team commas.
Welcome back. This is episode 450 of the NYYST podcast. We are live here on NYY Underground. I'm your host, Christian. As always, joined by my co-host, Sem.
What's up?
Bro, just get it out of the way now. What's bothering you? Tell me. Inform the people what's gotten you down this week.
Nothing.
Nothing?
No, I'm perfectly fine.
No, you're not. Why you got the
No.
window open?
DIY projects don't smell too good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're live here on NYY Underground on a Wednesday night because we just felt like switching things up. And like we said last week, we'll be back next week also live here on Wednesday night. Normally, I don't get that out of the way in the first 3 minutes of the show, but next week is going to be a very special episode. Longtime fans of the show maybe know what we may be doing next week, and there may or may not be some special guests joining us as well. So make sure that you have it set and locked and ready for next week at 8 o'clock on Wednesday here on NYY Underground. But we're here live tonight. Chat, if you're lively tonight, let's go. Like this video, subscribe to NYY Underground. I would normally tell you to go get your tickets for March 29th, but oops, we did it again. We sold out the Audi Club, so if you're going to be there, we're looking forward to seeing you on March 29th. Also, if you're listening to this show on your favorite podcast platform on Thursday morning, please can you like podcasts? Who the hell knows anymore? Subscribe there as well. Leave us a 5-star rating and review and tell everybody NYYST is the official Yankee podcast of Odyssey. Okay, so now we got all the bookkeeping out of the way. The Yankees are doing some medical bookkeeping as, things have not gone well for them here in this last week. We touched on Giancarlo Stanton last week with the double tennis elbow. Now it's officially confirmed that he is not going to be ready for the start of the season. So, we can talk about what that means, who they may or may not bring in, who the internal options are. I know I put my candidacy behind Ben Rice last week. Let's just get this out of the way early. You want to laugh? You want to have a good laugh? You want to chuckle here? DJ LeMahieu, the washed machine, got hurt in his second spring training at bat on Saturday. Not that we ever laugh about injuries, but who didn't see that coming? That DJ LeMahieu got himself hurt, calf injury. He doesn't think it's that serious, but it will cost him some time. Will likely take him out of the running for third base for opening day. That's why whenever you and I have discussed this, I've never really put too much effort into it other than saying that he can't play third base on opening day, and it turns out that he won't be playing third base on opening day for the actual reason that he's hurt, like I said, that he would be.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to say I'm happy he's hurt because I'm not happy he's hurt. Never want to wish anybody that, but it's a little bit of a relief. Obviously, they owe him money. I feel like they would have brought him out there no matter what. I think we both are in agreement about that. So, I mean, DFA him, get him out of here. Bye.
That's some hard-hitting analysis on your part there. DFA him, goodbye. Okay.
DFA him, goodbye. I've been saying DFA him goodbye since last year. He sucks since he had kids, or his kid was born. He went out on paternity leave. He came back. He sucks since. Yes, go back.
Was that his first kid?
I think it was I don't know if it was his first kid or second kid. I don't know if he's
Well,
got
if it's
two
a second
kids.
one, then you can't blame him.
He came back from fucking paternity leave, and it goes to show you that kid sucked the life out of you. He sucked since.
Okay, well, you got five of them, so you know better than anybody.
I do not have five children.
Well, it feels like you with
Do
the
I?
amount of complaining you
I
do about
might.
them.
Who knows? Who
Yeah,
knows? Who
definitely.
knows?
Yeah, well, I mean, with you and the shit that you were up to back in your younger days,
Nobody
I mean, you
knows.
can only confirm three of them, but you might have more out there.
He's
But
joking.
your wife's not down there.
No,
Can you tell your wife not to try to jump the curb every time she sees me out with the dog?
I think she was trying to hit you.
No, that's what I'm saying. Tell her not to jump the curb, bro. I wasn't running this time. I was just walking the dog, so I was able to see her and avoid her.
Well, she's always on the horn honking at everybody. So she was
She,
hitting, and I'm like, who you yelling at now? She goes, oh, it's a Christian. I'm
she's
like, oh,
she's a big honker.
she's a big honker. She's always honking at everybody, screaming at everybody. She's got road rage.
That's the 4'11" Italian in her.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're gonna get beat up.
she just texted me, by the way.
Oh God.
You know what? I'm glad that somebody's wife watches this show. So there you go. Okay. Well, the big injury news for the Yankees is obviously Luis Heel is been shut down after he experienced some pain in the shoulder. It's a what do they term it here exactly? A lat strain, a
Lat
severe lat.
strain,
Yeah. Well, it's a very
similar to Clark
similar,
Schmidt last
yeah,
year.
similar to Clark Schmidt last year, and Schmidt was out from May 20 something to September 5th. So I mean that's probably the time frame that we're looking at every for Luis Heel. I mean, he's not going to pick up a baseball for 6 weeks. So we're 3 weeks out from opening day. Tomorrow is 3 weeks to the day from opening day. So you figure, bang, 3 weeks opening day. Another 3 weeks puts you in the middle of April. He's probably, realistically, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't throw the ball for 7 or 8 weeks. So now we're into May, and then look at another 3 months: May, June, July. I mean, what are we looking at here? August before we see Luis Heel. I think at best in that 2 weeks post All Star break. So you're looking at late July to early August before we see Luis Heel back on the mound for the Yankees.
If we're lucky. How many times they're ramping up a pitcher and it's always, oh, we're shutting him down for 2 weeks. He had a little bit of pain in his elbow. It's always something. They'll come up with this. It
Well,
just
that's
seems like
true. If
that's the
he
way it
has
always goes.
if he has no setbacks, I mean, we're looking at best case scenario mid July, late, early August for him to come back. So is he, he's ready for the stretch run into the postseason? Look, Chris and I argued about this a lot on the show last year about innings limits and the Yankees shutting him down at certain points, and he was against it. I never thought the Yankees were going to let him pitch as much as he did last year. Is this a residual effect from the amount of innings that he pitched last year? After not pitching for 2 years, basically with the Tommy John surgery. I mean, you could say that. I mean, I would love a doctor to tell me whether or not that had any effect on him, but the fact that he went to the lengths that he went to last year when the Yankees were originally, you listen to Boone at the beginning of the season last year when they knew Cole was going to be out, they were kind of capping him at 80 innings. And if I look that up right now, Luis Heel threw, what did Luis Heel throw last year, not including the postseason?
A lot.
Heel Heel threw Jesus, he threw 150. He threw 151 and two-thirds innings in the regular season last year after he had not thrown since May of 2022 in a big league game. He threw
Yeah, they didn't.
4 innings in 2022, and he did not, and then he threw 151 and two-thirds innings last year. So this guy missed
I,
2 years with Tommy John surgery, throws 150 innings, and now he's dealing with a lat strain. Who knows, if these
I don't
things
know
are
what a lat
connected.
is. What is a lat?
Well, you don't have one.
What is a lat? I don't
It's
have a
your
lap because I got a big gut. But I failed health. Oh, a lat. Oh,
it's
okay.
your
I know what a lat
latissimus
is.
dorsi muscle in the upper
Yeah.
back.
So he yeah, that's gotta suck. I don't know. We were all expecting him to end up getting transitioned to the bullpen last year, and it never happened. Well, he just pitched straight through into the
He
postseason.
had those back spasms, which was really the Yankees kind of resting him a little bit there towards the end of the season. So, could it be too much workload? It's possible. I mean, 150 innings is a lot of innings for a guy to throw normally nowadays, let alone after not having pitched for 2 years, and then he was, wasn't doing nothing except for making kids in the off season, and then he comes back and he tries to ramp up, and something goes wrong. Who knows, man? All I'm saying is that out of the three injuries that we really kind of dealt with this week with, Stan and LeMay and Heel, this is to me the biggest injury the Yankees are going to deal with because this is the reigning Cy Young not reigning Cy Young. This is the reigning Rookie of the Year
Rookie of the
here.
year.
The guy that gave you 150 innings last year, and a lot of them were at ace level when he was covering for Garrett Cole through the first half of the season. So you're looking at internal options right now to replace him. I think a lot of people think the leader in the clubhouse is Marcus Stroman, and it shouldn't be. The Yankees don't owe anything to Marcus Stroman. Marcus Stroman, got his wish, I guess you could say that, saying I'm a starter. Well, this is probably going to be his opportunity to start right now. But I have always been a big proponent of Will Warren. I like Will Warren's stuff. Even last year when Will Warren got smacked around, I really did. I liked Will Warren's stuff a lot. You know, even Paul O'Neill said he's got the stuff to be a big league pitcher. It's just, is he going to put it together and learn how to get big league hitters out? Okay. So if I'm dumb, is Paul O'Neill dumb as well? Because, a lot of people said I was dumb for thinking that Will Warren can do this at this level. So, he's pitching to a 1.13 ERA in the regular season, in spring training right now. I'm looking at situations where what is my upside versus two guys, right? Marcus Stroman could be good. He could give you some quality innings in the beginning, but realistically, we know what Marcus Stroman is. He's going to be a guy, maybe 4 or 5 innings, maybe 3 or 4 runs. He's going to pitch scared, which I don't really like. I don't like guys that go on the mound afraid, which Marcus Stroman exhibited last year. And, a lot of people will point to the fact that the Yankees had a bad defense and he strayed away from contact, which all might be true. I'm not denying that. But also, if you gave him prime Roger Clemens' arm, he still couldn't break a pane of glass with his fastball. So that's also why he shied away from contact, because his stuff didn't allow him to be in the hitting zone. He couldn't get guys out by throwing the ball over the plate. So do we want to repeat of that, or do we want to see what Will Warren is? Because you saw the overlays online. He looks almost exactly like Michael King. We saw how the Yankees developed Michael King. We saw what Michael King developed into even further after he got traded to San Diego. Do we want to see what Will Warren has? Yeah, to me, that's what I want to do. I want to see what Will Warren has. I want to see if Will Warren has built upon the stuff that I saw him have last year. I want to see if Will Warren can build upon the spring training and see if he's a real viable candidate to replace Luis Hill in this starting rotation. I don't want to see Marcus Stroman because I know what Marcus Stroman is. I'd rather the Yankees sell me on the hope or the promise of what Will Warren can be. And maybe I could be a little bit excited every fifth day to see Will Warren take the mound and see if he could take that next step to be a major league pitcher, as opposed to being depressed knowing that I'm going to watch a guy fucking nibble on the outside part of the plate for 4 and a third innings.
Marcus Stroman's a basket case to begin with, so he's a liability to be putting out there. But the guy goes out there, says, "Hey, I'm a starting pitcher. I'm not going to pitch out of the bullpen." He goes into spring training, you think competing, trying to get that fifth starting position. That's the fifth, being the fifth starting pitcher, and he's got a 9.82 ERA. So that goes to show you either he's struggling or he's pissed off and he don't give a shit. Which one is it? I think it's probably a mix of both, but that's a problem either way. He's an aging pitcher. He's probably losing some velocity. He pitches to contact. They're going to light him up, right or wrong.
No, he's gonna get lit up if he tries
So
to throw his stuff over the plate, which he can't do. And as a fan, as somebody that you know, I have said this because people said the Yankees are going to be boring this year, and I said, what does it matter if you're watching paint dry for 3 hours as long as the Yankees win? But also, there is an entertainment aspect to baseball, and I don't want to see a guy nibble for 4 or 5 innings. I want to see somebody be aggressive out there, and he doesn't have the stuff to do so. This is not. I don't want people to think this is a personal shot at Marcus Stroman because it's not. I don't know the guy personally, but this is a shot at his ability as a baseball player as a pitcher for my favorite baseball team. I don't want to watch him pitch for the Yankees. I don't.
I don't I don't understand what's going to be boring. What, we're not going to be hitting home runs left and right. Like
Because
what is?
once there's not going to be anybody shaking their ass,
Okay. So
taking pitches.
you're gonna watch a team that's basically half brand new that you really haven't seen play. How is that boring baseball? Boring baseball is losing baseball. If you're winning, what the hell's
Well,
boring
that's what
about
I've
it?
said on this show. Probably, I think before you, maybe I said it with you, maybe before you got here. I said, who cares what the results look like if the Yankees win? If they're the most boring World Series team ever, who the hell cares? They got
Yeah,
to
they
the.
you win. Exactly. You're excited if you get the win. So who gives a shit? Well, because Juan Soto's not going to be there. That's it's
It's an
getting old.
to me, it's
Move
an
on.
overreaction to
It is.
that. So
Everybody's pissing and moaning, whining and bitching. Listen, Luis Heel going down. That's a kick in the nuts. You know, DJ LeMay, the wash tag, whatever you want. Delay.
LeMay tag.
Yeah, bye. I don't care. Giancarlo Stanton, I don't know if we're surprised about the Giancarlo Stanton thing. Like that could be pretty deflating, but like I'm not surprised he got hurt, but I am still upset. No, so like I can understand people being upset about that, but to sit there and say it's gonna be boring, I don't see how it's gonna be boring.
Let me
I
get to Scott Horwitz super chat here before I lose it, guys. What do we do with Jason if he can't hit or field well? Scouts say he was not any better in center field than left. Oh, well, then we're shit out of luck, bro, because I don't know what you want me to tell you if a guy that was our top prospect and, sold to us as the next Mickey Mantle and that, is supposed to be a generational type talent can't fucking hit or field well. We're beat. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And I'm going to tell you, and like I'm going to tell every other Yankee fan, drop the attitude about that right now because we haven't seen enough of Jason Dominguez to sit there and make a distinction about him one way or another. And I think this kid's got all the potential and all the talent in the world. And I want him in left field. Well, actually, after last week, I said I want him in center field. I want him in the opening day lineup. I want him in the outfield every day, and I want to see what we got. So let's go with that right now. Let's be optimistic and be positive because, if you read Aaron Judge's scouting report, after he was drafted, he was, quote, maybe going to be the second Yankee or the second player ever drafted by the Yankees to make an all-star team. He would be maybe have 25 home run power. He's probably in the last 10 years, is he not the best right-handed hitter we've seen, possibly? Or since he's been here, he hasn't played 10 years. The last 8, 9 years, the seasons that he's put up after what scouting report said about him, he in all honesty is a 3-time MVP, and without injuries, he might have more than that. And a scouting report said he would be lucky to make an all-star team. So I'm not concerned so much what scouting reports say about 21-year-olds other than the eye test. And when I saw this guy get a little bit of a run in 2023, I saw a guy that had confidence and can hit the ball, and we weren't concerned out there. And now he got hurt and a position change, and things have changed for him. He's also 21 years old. What were you doing when you were 21 years old? I know what I was doing at 21 years old, and I wasn't dealing with the pressures of trying to be a fucking center fielder for the New York Yankees. So give the kid a fucking break, please.
That's a lot of pressure. Think about the pressure that's on his shoulders, and he's got to get there opening day. I mean, listen, if he doesn't perform opening day, what do we do? Okay, on to the next game. Deal with it. You know,
Not. Go ahead.
you can't run around the sky's falling, the sky's falling, the sky's falling. You got to give this kid to the end of May, June before you really start like saying, "Oh shit."
Not
That's when it's going to
everybody.
be a
Not
problem.
everybody is Juan Soto or Alex Rodriguez and ready to be an all-star at 19. You know, That's why those guys are who they are. That's why Alex Rodriguez should. Let's be honest, bro. I don't care what these guys did. Alex Rodriguez didn't need to do it. He's one of the. He is might be the greatest baseball player I ever watched through his prime. Right? Okay. So, and then Juan Soto. We all know what Juan Soto what can do with a baseball bat in his hand, right? There's a reason why those guys are the upper echelon A plus of the A plus players, right? Not everybody can develop like that. And this kid's 21, going to be 22 years old, right? So you know what? Give him some run here, dude. They gave Anthony Volpe 2 years of being just ass. We can give the, we can let Jason Dominguez take left field this year and see what we got.
No, I mean everybody's already wants to let George Lombard Jr. in there. It's like everybody wants a quick turnaround. They want these players to play and be phenomenal out the gate. It's not going to happen. No one's good at their job the first day on the job. I mean, last year he came back. He got hurt the year before, right? Yeah, Tommy John. Last year he didn't get back till midway
Yeah,
into the
Tommy
season,
John in
and he got
2023,
hurt
and he
again.
got hurt
Something
again.
happened. And they came back. I mean, he hasn't played
He
baseball
has not
really
played
so
exactly.
much.
He's not played a lot of baseball. And while we were all of us were, Scott, I don't know why you're saying okay, LOL. You're the one that asked the question. I gave you the answer. If you don't like the answer, don't ask the question. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you, buddy. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the super chat, but I mean, that's you asked me a question. I gave you an answer, you know.
Lol. I don't know.
The,
The guy's name's fucking awesome. So like he's
when
gonna do good.
we were all whining and bitching, me included, about where's Jason, where's Jason, where's Jason, when Alex Verdugo was shitting up, just completely stinking it up the joint with like a 515 OPS for 3 months, right? Brian Cashman said this guy hasn't played a lot of baseball. He hasn't played baseball. He needs to get at bats. He needs to knock the rust off. So now are we seeing that? Are we seeing a guy that's finally healthy, getting, and remember when he got called up here, he didn't play every day. The Yankees called him up here. He played Monday, he didn't play Tuesday. He played Wednesday, he didn't play Thursday and Friday. He didn't, he played Saturday, then he didn't play again the next Wednesday. you know? So now the guy is up here playing every day, learning a new position, trying to knock the rust off of, inconsistencies and, being injured. I mean, guys, we need this guy. You don't replace, you don't come back from a prospect of this level just falling on his face and being garbage. That's why this is such an important year for Anthony Volpe, is it not? Because now if we're in year 3 of a guy that has a 600 OPS, guess what? Our shortstop of the future sucks. He's not our shortstop of the future. Now the Yankees have to sit there and honestly, will they? I don't know. I don't want to see it. I really don't. But it would be really interesting to see what the Yankees did if Anthony Volpe had another season of batting 240 with 10 home runs and a 600 OPS. That would be crazy. If they would just automatically give him the job in 2026. It would be interesting to see. But obviously nobody's rooting for that. Nobody's, wishing for that. But, now you're looking at a situation where your cornerstone franchise shortstop, you got to replace him after 3 years. We don't want to go down that route with Jason Dominguez.
No, like listen, I mean Dominguez is on like the Tarpons, the Patriots or Scranton Wilkes-Barre. He's not in the news every day. He's being dissected at every angle right now. You go on Instagram, TikTok, anything like that, all you see is him not making the play in left field. That's got to be a lot for a kid to take on, especially when he's supposed to be like the next coming. And every day you're sitting and there's people just talking shit about you, being negative. That's a lot to handle. It would affect me. I think it would affect anybody. Like I said, you have to give this kid months, not days, not weeks. You have to give him months to see if he's developing into what we want him to be. And at that point, too, if he's sucking in left field, you put him in center field and see if it improves his game. Maybe that's what's throwing him off. We watched it happen with Glaber. We watched it just derail him completely. We don't know what's going on with him. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna be pissed off. I'm gonna scream at my TV. I'm probably gonna throw my remote, and I'm gonna be pissed off. And then I'm gonna piss and moan. I'm gonna text you 15 million times about how this is bullshit, and then we're gonna put the game on the next day. That's what we're gonna do. That's the realistic thing. That's what's gonna happen.
Look, you want to know how the Yankees are going to replace Juan Soto and how this lineup is going to be exciting this year? Well, it's Jason Dominguez. That's how it's going to happen. I mean, he's got the tools. He's got the most potential to replace him. He's this, I mean, what's the other option, guys? You want Alex Verdugo to come back? You want to send Jason Dominguez down to AAA and get another year of Alex Verdugo? So tell me, what do you want to do? Because I'd rather suffer through the growing pains with Jason Dominguez. That's what I would rather do. So I don't know. I didn't expect to have to go off on a side note here about Jason Dominguez, but people ask questions. I answer them. I don't know where Verdugo is, Rye Bread. Are you seated or unseated? Because I don't like seated Rye Bread. He doesn't have a
He's
job
not.
right
He's
now.
not signed. He's just hanging around.
Yeah, he's hanging.
Verdugo,
He's waiting for a call. I'm sure
waiting to go down to the Mexican League to play with Bowers, Trevor, whatever his name is.
So
What's gonna happen with him and Anthony Rizzo too?
so going back to Luis Heel, so we're at a point in spring training where he wasn't even really built up. So he's not in my house. Okay, relax. He's not here. I don't want him here. I locked him in my basement. I shouldn't have said that out loud. No, I'm kidding.
Who's in your basement? What happened? Oh, what?
I locked Alex Verdugo in my basement. This way he couldn't play for the Yankees again.
Oh, I thought you put him in the attic.
I don't have it. I'm in the uppermost part of the house, so he's not up here.
There's not an attic above you?
No.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. If I punched a hole here, that would be the roof.
No, there's definitely some sort of soffit up there.
All right, so come over and find it then. I don't know. There is. This isn't my house. I don't live here.
I, I just sleep here at night.
All my shit's here, but I don't live here. Yeah. So now we're Heel, right? So he hasn't been built up at all. Now he's gonna. They said no throw for at least 6 weeks, so it's probably 7 or 8 with the Yankees. So then, even when he's ready to throw a ball again, he's got to go through an entire spring training, which is 6 weeks. So I mean, we're not really
We're not gonna see
looking.
him for a long time.
No,
I
I
wouldn't be
mean,
surprised if we don't see him at all this season.
would it stun me if we got news that he's shut down for the entire season? No, it really wouldn't. But the
Or
reason why I put so much stock, or I shouldn't say stock, the reason why this injury is the biggest injury to me out of the three that we're done talking about LeMay. There's nothing to talk about there. The three that we're discussing this week is because so much of my optimism regarding the New York Yankees in 2025 was how good the starting rotation was. And now you're taking out what essentially is your third best starter, your reigning rookie of the year. A lot of people believe he's got the best pure stuff of anybody in the staff. And honestly, it's hard to really argue that. It's either him or Garrett Cole for me. But if you want to argue he's got better pure stuff, I'm not going to give you a serious fight on that. I'm taking him out to put in either Marcus Stroman or a real unproven guy in Will Warren. Now, obviously, as I said earlier in the show, I would rather go with Will Warren, give me the potential of the upside, at least a little bit of excitement there to see what this kid's got over what I know I'm going to get out of Marcus Stroman, which, maybe early on in the season is better than what we saw later on. Maybe he would give you a couple winning performances, but like I said, I'm just over Marcus Stroman as a Yankee, man. And like I know people were, somebody said to me, "This is why you didn't trade Marcus Stroman." Now, the reason why the Yankees didn't trade Marcus Stroman is because nobody
Nobody
wants
wanted him.
Marcus Stroman. The Yankees apparently called the Giants about to trade Marcus Stroman for Taylor Rogers. This is according to Joel Sherman, and the Giants basically hung up the phone on him. So I don't know why, Cashman thought that was a deal that the Giants would be interested in, but If the Yankees could have traded Marcus Stroman, they would have done it. Literally the second after Alex Verdugo struck out to end the World Series, they would have done it. Nobody wants him. There's a reason for that. He's not good and he makes a lot of money. So
How old is he?
he's not that old in terms of baseball. I would say he's probably like 34, 35.
I would like to see what his numbers were to begin with, and then what they ended, what they're at now. Like what was his fastball when he started
He's
compared to
turning
now?
34 on May 1st.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wow. I felt like he was older than that. He's only That's wild. He's my wife's age.
Yeah. It's
He's a loser.
no
I don't
name
know.
calling, okay? No name
I haven't
calling.
liked him. Yeah, listen, like I said, I'll always go back to that. We all have
Francis is in
problems
the
with
chat
her.
tonight. What's up, my brother Francis? Where's Kev, bro? He runs his mouth all day. Doesn't want to pop in here. Anyway,
Uh, I don't know. All these guys are young compared to you, though, because you're like 50.
I'm not 50. We
You're
got into that a couple weeks
you're
ago.
40. I know. I'm bringing it back up. You're like 49 and a
You
half.
know, Scott Wright he says he's 34 on a small frame, makes him seem older, especially when you lost your fastball at 34.
I
You're
mean, I
already.
was 10 feet away from him last year, and he looked freaking older than that to me.
I don't know. I'm not judging people like that. Maybe you are. That's okay.
He just looks older. Oh, I thought he was going to be like 37, 38. That's really where I thought he
No,
was.
I
I
knew he
thought he was.
wasn't. I knew he wasn't that old. I knew he was relatively young in terms of older for, maybe a baseball. Actually, you know what? Nah. He's the same age. Garrett Cole, I think, is turning. How old is Cole's turning 34 this year, right? Or he is already 34?
Uh,
Yeah. That's crazy though. If you think about where those two guys are at their careers, is that Cole is turning 35 in September, and you still look at Garrett Cole as one of the top pitchers of baseball, whereas Marcus Stroman is turning 34 in May, and you are basically saying his career is over.
yeah. He's 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 a situational pitcher at best at this point. You know, you get him in, put him in there when you need to get an out, one out at the end of an inning. I don't like. He makes me nervous when he pitches. It's just the same thing with Rodon too. Like I have no faith in Rodon. I have zero faith in Marcus Stroman at this point. And it sucks because last year he started off pretty decent, and then he just fell off the face of the earth and he just sucked. But
Francis,
like
if that, go ahead.
you know where he's going to put the ball. If I know where he's going to put the ball, the guy coming up's going to know where he's going to.
So I
It's
knew I
all
liked
not
Francis for a
competitive.
reason. Francis was born on May 3rd, and that was almost my daughter's birthday, but we got her out 9 minutes before midnight.
Yeah, it was late. She was. I remember being up and you texting me. Hmm.
She's gonna be 5 this year, bro. It's fucking
That's
nuts.
fucking wild. That's wild. I don't know. I bought Marina a car and I still haven't registered it because I'm just don't feel like
That's right.
registering
She does
it
have the
yet.
same birthday as the Rocky, and that's why we wanted her. That's why we wanted her out on May 2nd. I didn't want it. I didn't want to risk May 4th. I didn't want to risk it. I couldn't deal
May
with
the
that shit.
May the fourth be with you.
That was her original due date. And I was like, no, absolutely not. If she wasn't born by May 3rd, I was gonna stick a cork in there to make sure she didn't come out until the 5th. We were not dealing with that. There's nothing more pop culture nerd like that type of shit I despise more than Star Wars.
Well, you're a loser, so
No, actually, I'm a winner because of that.
no, no, absolutely not, bro.
My
You watch your favorite baseball team's called the Evil Empire. It's a Star Wars
Actually, no, the
reference.
Dodgers took that,
Oh, they took it now.
and
Sorry.
I never acknowledged that. I never acknowledged that.
What do you think they play at the end of
I know what it is. I
every
know that.
inning?
I know that stupid horn is from fucking Star Wars. I know
It's
it.
amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, mine, Aaron MVP. Mine uh is 10-4. That's my birthday. And instead of getting a birthday present on my third birthday, I got this dickhead over here.
Fourth. I'm not
On
that
my
old.
fourth birthday, I'm sorry. My aunt and uncle didn't buy me a birthday present that year. Instead, they're like, "We got you a cousin."
Is the is that the did Judge hit the 62nd home run on your
On my
birthday?
birthday, yes.
Yeah, right. It's pretty exciting. Oh, that's how I remember that day. I don't know. I cannot believe that I haven't lost power because it's pretty shitty out.
It's still raining up by you?
Yeah, it was really windy. I was waiting for trees to start. My power actually flickered before. I thought I was gonna be putting out, getting out, starting up my generator just so I
Kev,
had
what's your
have internet.
problem, bro? Tell me. Tell me what your problem is. Wh- Is somebody you know born on 10/4? Is that what your problem is? That they actually have a good birthday? Oh, you know what? I like your son, bro. I don't like you very much, but I like your son. You know, obviously, legends are born on 10/4. Okay.
That's a big 10-4.
I'm surprised more people haven't used that against me.
Oh, I say it every day at work, so I don't want to say it too when I'm out of work, but it's a big 10-4.
Sem was born 3 days and 4 years after me.
October 7th, greatest day, 1987, the greatest day in human history.
We kind of own that week.
We do, because then Parker's 106, so I call him 106 in Parker.
Didn't we have another one that was almost close?
I believe so. Oh, I think Aubrey was supposed to be in. I thought was she supposed to be in October? I think Aubrey was supposed to be in October. I'm not sure.
My nephew was born the day after my parents or the day before my parents' anniversary.
I
He's
feel
either
like there's too many kids in the family.
we
I
got
can't
a
remember
lot
who
of
all.
October business going on in this family. My mother was born the day before Halloween.
Yeah,
My parents' anniversary is the 16th, so my nephew was either born the 15th or the 17th. I don't remember.
I don't know. I saw one of those posts that said, if you're born in November, whatever, you know what your parents are doing on Valentine's Day. I was like, oh shit, that sucks. And then I remembered I was premature by a month, and it hit me. And I called my mom, and I told her what a filthy person she was.
So now that we got all the fluff birthday chatter out of the way, let's get back to business here. Uh, the the Yankees are also dealing with Giancarlo Stanton's double tennis elbow. He was officially put on the IL, or he will begin the season on the IL. I haven't heard anything about him reporting to camp. They said he was going to report back to camp sometime this week. I haven't heard anything. Um, so, like I said, if anybody really thought that he wasn't missing 40 or 50 games on like the good end of things, I really don't know what to tell you. And I love G. And I was still expect, and I'm not anybody. I never take shots at John Carl Stanton. I love the guy, especially after what he did in this postseason. But if you didn't think he was missing 40 or 50 games this year, I don't know what to tell you. And that's like good. That would have been good if he only missed 40 or 50 games. The problem is that he's doing it right out of the gate. Like he couldn't even hit like 10 or 15 home runs first and didn't get injured. So I don't know, man. I haven't. It depends. He had the PRP injections in both elbows. I don't know what the recovery on this is. Is this another? Are we missing him for 3 months? The Yankees are going to need to come up with some type of offense here to replace him. So like I said last week, Ben Rice is the guy for me. That's where I would like them to go if they are looking for in-house, candidates to be the DH. I know a lot of people are hyping Dom Smith right now. He's performing very well. I just barely got the words out of my mouth as it says Dom Smith. Um, so I don't know, man. Like I said last week, could he get hot for a couple weeks and play, have the short porch play to his advantage? Yeah, but again, like it's the same thing with Marcus Stroman versus Will Warren. Give me my guy, give me the upside, give me the potential. Let me get a little bit excited about seeing a young guy play and see what he can be over what I know this guy is.
Uh, was Ben Rice? Was he? So he was he missed out because of COVID, right? and then they found him playing like a stickball game someplace. Is that how? I think that's the story behind him.
Where did you hear that?
I can't remember. I've been listening to a lot of interviews and bullshit lately. I'm pretty sure. Could be someone else. I'll have to look it up. Do you know what a
Ben Rice
PRP injection is?
Ben Rice was drafted by the Yankees in 2021.
Was he? Oh,
Yeah,
there's
so
so
I
many details. I don't
I
know.
don't I don't think they found him on the side of the road playing
No, but
stick.
I thought something like because COVID messed something up for him, and because that's when he came out, or that's why they drafted him because they saw him play. I think he missed out on something with college.
Well, there was no baseball season that year. They cut the
Yes,
baseball season short. So
and I
maybe,
think that
yeah.
somebody saw him playing like a stickball game, like, oh, hey,
I
he's
would,
good. And then that's why he got drafted. I don't know. Anyway, wasn't Stanton hurt last year? Didn't they say he played through this shit?
he was hurt in the postseason. He was dealing with this issue in October. They did
So
say that.
why is he getting treatment now?
Well, it was like the same time that the Yankees knew that Luis Severino was hurt in the postseason, whenever the hell that was, 2019 maybe, and he didn't get treatment for it until spring training.
But so how do you not learn from your mistakes? Not to mention that Giancarlo Stanton injuries is part of his game. You know the guy is as fragile as a carton of fucking eggs. Why are we waiting until start of spring training to get PRP injections or at least getting CAT scans? He should have had dog scans and fucking MRIs and you name it when at the end of the postseason, so they knew what was happening. That it aggravated me when I heard that I wasn't like again I wasn't surprised, but I'm aggravated about it. I feel like someone dropped the ball. Seriously, I don't
Well, the
whether
Yankees
it's
have
him
never hit.
himself.
Well, they knew about it. How's it his fault? They
Exactly.
knew
So how
about
do
it. They
you
have to send him to the doctor.
and he needs to advocate for himself or something like that. I'm pissed off at him. I'm pissed off at everybody. This guy is getting hurt all the time. It's always been lower leg. It's a lower body.
Well, he had bicep
And
tendonitis. He missed like 50 games with that.
well, but the guy can't run to first base at this point. Just take it easy. What are they going to tell him now? No, you can't jerk off at home. Like your elbows hurt. Like stop doing stuff, Stanton. Lay in bed all day long
I know. I like.
in
Whoa,
zero
whoa.
gravity.
You know what? I'm not gonna even. I don't even want to know why you're injuring your elbows doing that. I don't even want to know why.
I don't know. But what else? What else are you? Come on. How did they not look into this in November or December
Because you want to
or
know it's
January?
season over. Bye bye. We'll see you in
I can't.
February.
Come on. It's ridiculous.
I mean, if they
There
thought it was
has.
something, look, if they thought it was something that he managed through October, maybe they thought that it was something that he could, dissipate
But he
through.
didn't even start swinging a bat. Like, what was he doing? It had to be hurting him the entire time. It's not like he just get off a plane and you're there and you're like, oh yeah, by the way, my elbow started hurting me from the
No, but
nice warm weather down here.
you know what? He's Dig Big Stan, bro. He's our playoff god. So we bow at
Well,
the
maybe
altar,
that's why he's hurting
and
himself. He can't lift it anymore.
that's why he can go out there and smack home runs in the postseason with one arm. He could just
It just, dude, it sucks.
he doesn't even need a bat, bro. He can swing his Dig Big and hit home runs. But
after that postseason, you got to be excited to see him opening day. It's raining on my parade.
And like
Fucking
Scott
annoying.
says, the Yankees trip over and contradict themselves all the time. So who the hell knows if he was even really hurt in October? We don't know. Yankees talk out of both sides of their mouth with injuries all the time. Who knows who to believe? All we know is that the guy that carried us through October is air humping his teammates in Queens, and the other one is not going to be ready at the top at the beginning of the season. So the Yankees are missing a lot of offense here. So where do they go to get it? According to Joel Sherman, uh, he said that multiple sources have told him that the team is focused on acquiring a right-handed bat capable of playing third base or a corner outfield position. That is what Joel Sherman has been reporting today. So, that is not boding well for your guy, Oswald Peraza, and the fact that the Yankees have batted him ninth no matter who the hell they put in the lineup is not
Yeah.
really a great sign for me for Oswald Peraza. But, do they want a right-handed before we take uh the third base aspect of this. I don't think the Yankees are looking for a right-handed corner outfielder to replace Jason Dominguez. I think what they're doing is looking for a guy that can platoon with either Ben
Platoon.
with either Ben Rice or Dom Smith. Ben Rice, okay, uh, at the DH position, and somebody that can give the Yankees a little bit of relief in the outfield if there's a tough lefty, because their backup outfielder, their fourth outfielder, is left-handed. So I think they're looking for a little bit of versatility there in that regard. Because if you look at their outfield, it's all left-handed. Jason Dominguez is a switch hitter, but he's better from the left side. He's going to play majority, of his at bats batting left-handed, right? So Cody Bellinger, left-handed. Trent Grisham, left-handed, and then obviously Aaron Judge is right-handed. So it would make sense for them to be in the market for a right-handed outfielder, a guy that can play out there a little bit. Yeah, obviously, I don't think that he's going to be a threat to me. I'm saying he's not going to be a threat to Jason Dominguez, but also be able to platoon with Rice or Dom Smith at the DH position. That's what I think that they're looking for, that particular player.
What about Pariah? I can't say his name.
Everson
Pariah.
Pereira, and that,
Pereira.
if they're looking for a right-handed outfielder, that doesn't bode well for
For him.
Pereira's prospects either, because he's a right-handed outfielder. So, you can read the tea leaves of what the Yankees want to do versus what they don't want to do. You know, okay, Pereira's here. He's a guy that people still have high hopes for, at least being a capable major league hitter. Why not him? Why are you looking for a right-handed outfielder? Well, obviously the Yankees are telling you they don't like him very much if they're looking for a right-handed outfielder, because you already have one on your 40-man roster. They don't like him. Why? I don't know. He came up here in 2023, sucked, and then he was hurt. So, I mean, what do we really know about him at the major league level other than he was terrible when he got his little run there in 2023? But again, you can't, to me, I can't make that big of a deal about it and say he can't play at the major league level because of that. Because then again, last year he was hurt. So who knows, right? And what they're telling you by telling you that they're looking for somebody at third base still is that they don't want to hand this job to anybody that's currently on their 40-man roster, is what they're telling you.
You're
They
I
don't
don't
like
think
any of their
they
internal
also
options.
said, I think they also said it's still a competition for left field, that it's up for grabs. They don't even want to commit to Dominguez being the left fielder.
Well, they need to commit to it. They just need to just shut the fuck up and give and commit to him. Okay.
They need to
Because
commit.
what are you gonna do? Like really, honestly, if you know what, if you're not gonna give Jason Dominguez the job on opening day, just release him, because obviously you're telling the rest of the world he sucks, he can't even crack this team with the holes that we have, right? So what are you going to get for him? Just release him. Let him go. Let him go play somewhere else, because it's time now. It's time to let Jason Dominguez shine. It's time to let him be a New York Yankee and take the reins over in left field. Enough already.
I just how do they commit to one player like Volpe and let him play for 2 3 years, and then other people they just, oh, we don't know if we're give him third base, oh, we don't know if we're give him left field. They're wishy-washy and all these other players. What did Anthony Volpe have on them? Oh,
He had the story. He had the
he had this
story.
he
That's what
had
it
the
was.
he had the
The
Fanatics
the
contract.
local kid from New Jersey who grew up a Yankees fan and was at the parade in 2009. That's what he had. The first
Oh,
round pick. And Scott, exactly. The marketing. It's a story. They're trying to sell you a fucking story. The Yankees so desperately. Every day I see the LED boards at ShopRite of buy your Yankee tickets now, and it's Cole and Judge and Stanton, and they so desperately want Giancarlo Stanton off that board. They don't want him being the holy trinity of the Yankees. Now, if Soto had re-signed, he'd be right there. He'd be the guy. But they want Anthony Volpe. They want more than anything. They want Anthony Volpe to be part of the holy trinity of the New York Yankees. When you go and buy your tickets now, it's Judge, Cole, and Anthony Volpe. That's what they want. So, yes, it's all about marketing. They want to sell you on the homegrown kid. They want to sell you on the local kid. The kid that idolized Derek Jeter was at the last World Series parade. They want to sell you on all that. The fucking problem is that he hasn't cracked a 700 OPS in 2 years as a big leaguer. That's what the problem is. He hasn't lived up to the story. Now he came here and he had a hell of an October. We talked about that a lot. He had a hell of an October. This is why this is a make or break year for Anthony Volpe. This is it for him. I'm telling you right now, I'm putting it all on the table for Anthony Volpe in 2025. If you do not have at least a 750 OPS in 2025, you're done. You're cooked. I don't want to hear about you anymore. It's over. You know, there's a lot of us that grew up Yankee fans and played high school baseball in New Jersey and were at World Series parades. We all shouldn't be the shortstop of the New York Yankees.
You know, that was his first major league game. Was the first time I drove to a game by myself. Obviously, I never went to a Yankee game without you, but I wanted to go and I wanted to see Judge introduced as the captain for the first time. You didn't want to go. I said the hell with it. I got over my fear of driving over bridges. I got over there. I got lost heading over there. I got there, and I'm sitting down. I'm like, oh, this place is going nuts. And that place went nuts when Judge came out. It was pretty loud. Then when they introduced Volpe, I'm gonna say it was 2 times louder for Volpe. And that blew my mind. I remember sitting there like, you got to be fucking kidding me. So it's the truth. They really do. It really was a story that they sold us, and everybody got high on it. I mean, we're all there for his first hit. Uh, I mean, but it's crazy. He's not shaking out to be what he is. But you're gonna give him 3 years. You got to give Dominguez at least 3 months. You got to give Ben Rice a chance at DH, and this is it. Like, I feel like so many people they bring up and they throw him back down to AAA. Bring him up, and then we're all screaming, yelling at the end of the season. Bring him up, bring him up, bring him up. Anthony Volpe just got it right off the bat. He just never, and then he never even got sent back down. He's playing like shit. He never got sent back down.
Can't send him back down. Once he's here, you can't send him back down. That sends the wrong message. It doesn't send the wrong message. It would be nice if they did, they realized that and said maybe he's just not ready. But the Yankees will never admit that they are wrong. And by sending him back down when he was terrible, especially in his rookie year, when it looked like maybe he was a little overmatched, what they would be telling you is that they made a mistake, and they will never, ever tell you that they made a mistake.
Clint Frazier.
So he's here. He's here. We're going to get, and I'm telling you, I'm not wishing this. I don't want this to happen. I need this kid to be great. We all need this kid to be great. But if he sucks again this year, they're going to ride him until the final year of his contract. So he's under control for 6 years. Guess what? He's going to be the shortstop for 26, 27, 28. And then they'll send him on his way like they did with Gleyber Torres. Maybe somebody will want to take a shot at him. They can get a decent trade for him, but they'll never truly admit failure on him. They can't. They won't. I shouldn't say they can't. They should if that's what the situation is, but they won't. They will never do that. Remember the historic class of free agent shortstops that they sat out on. Remember that they gave us IKF at shortstop for him. I'll never admit failure on this. He could be literally the worst player in baseball next year, and they will give him the job in 2027.
That's where they're
2026. Well, smart. What do we say on here? Smarter Yankees.
Yeah. Well, that's when we get aggravated because you see all these players come. These players come and go, and we get nothing for them. You get $5 for him. It's better than nothing.
But you know what? At the same time, I am truly happy that the Yankees didn't yo-yo him back and forth. You gave him the job. It's his job. Let's see what he's got here. You ruin more. To me, you ruin more guys by doing that. Let it. Now we put in the work, right? It's time to bear the fruits of this. Now we got it out in October. Now we need it for 162. The Yankees need Anthony Volpe to step up this year. They're not going to be what we want them to be without Anthony Volpe taking that next step. They're not going to be what we want them to be without Jason Dominguez being a good player for them either.
No. I mean, Anthony Volpe sucks because he's quick on the bases. He's supposed to be like a base running guru. He's never on base. He can't manufacture any runs. Same thing with Jazz Chisholm. It's gonna be the same thing. It's small ball. You got Dominguez. He's if he's smacking the ball out of the stadium, I don't think he's gonna be anything like Judge, but like if he could get on base, he's another one. They could change the dynamic of the game. And they need to be clicking on all cylinders. You can't have the first three guys hitting, or the second and third guy hitting this year, and then everybody else be shit. We're not going to get to the playoffs that way.
They don't have the
Last year
level
was
of
different.
greatness with two guys. They need more contributions this year, and I think they will get them because I still am relatively high on them offensively. I think Jazz. I like Jazz. To be a 25-30 guy, 25 home runs, 30 steals. I like him in that, in that range there. I'm a big Austin Wells guy. I think with a starting slate here, he's going to be a guy that hits 25 home runs and bats, in the 270 range. I am Cody Bangs, man. I'm telling you, he's going to bang in New York. I think Cody's going to have a big year. So now you're starting to see where some of this, replacement offense comes from. The problem is, now you're looking at what are we getting out of Volpe? What are we getting out of Dominguez? These guys got to play towards the high end of their potential because that's how this offense becomes really good. Dare I say, great. Now, obviously, we thought we only had one dead spot with third base. Now we're kind of looking at maybe two with DH, but that's why you give it to Ben Rice, man. If these are your, I'm talking about what these are your options. So if these are your options, Dom Smith, Ben Rice, let's go Ben Rice. Let's go Ben Rice. Let's see what he's got.
Ben Rose, I met him. He was a cool guy. He adds. I'm losing my train of thought. Ben Rice is nice being there because Goldschmidt, he's older. He's gonna need days off. Ben
Well,
Rice
that's the
will pick
thing
up
that,
on first base.
if Goldie gives you 250, 22 home runs and knocks in 60, you're going to do fucking cartwheels after the first base production that we got this year or last year. So, even if it's not a great season, it's a good season, it's an okay season. He's got a OPS plus of like 101. I mean, you're looking for areas of how to where you're getting more offense from where than you got last year to make up the Soto difference. I mean, if you got a guy at first base with an OPS plus of 101, considering what you got out of first base last year, you're saying, wow, that's barely league average, but you had the worst first base situation in baseball last year.
Rizzo, that was a shame with Rizzo. That
DJ
was another Yankees. That was the Yankees not realizing somebody was hurt, not doing anything about it. Not maybe would have changed anything, but again, how do they not? It goes back to Stanton. How do you not be proactive about this shit? I'm really pissed off
Look,
about
I thought they
Stanton
thought
not
he was
getting
over.
his.
I think they thought he was over the concussion. So, he had other injuries along the way. It is what it is. I mean, so.
I missed that game. I was out in Lake George when that happened.
LeMahieu hit a grand slam at the end of July. I forget what date it was. I know it was on vacation against the Phillies. That was the last home run the Yankees got out of first base. August, September, and they got to the World Series. 3 full months of baseball. The New York Yankees. Think about this. For 3 full months of baseball, the New York Yankees did not get a home run out of their first baseman. This is the Yankees we're talking about, where they have a history of slugging first baseman. Big time home run hitting first baseman. They didn't get a home run. Yeah, July 31st. It was the 30th. I was on vacation that week. I didn't remember exactly, but for 3 full months, no home runs out of first base. That's crazy.
Everything's been. I don't know. We're getting down to the wire here. It's starting to be. I'm getting excited. I want to see what happens. Fuck it. Fuck Stanton. Fuck Heel. Let's go. And that's the way I don't know. That's the way I'm starting to. I have to think about it because otherwise I'm gonna be very pessimistic about this season.
Kevin's right. 2 starters and the 2 guys that started in Game 5 of the World Series for the Yankees don't have jobs right now. We're 3 weeks from opening day.
Yeah, that's wild. I Rizzo, I could see. I can't see how nobody's picked up Verdugo. The guy's not bad defensively. I mean, and he just had a shit year offensively. I thought he'd get like at least a 1 year contract someplace.
Judge MVP's asking me who do I prefer for next year, Guerrero or Tucker? I'm telling you, man, Yankee fans can't stand him, but Jesus, give me 10 years of Vladdy.
Oh yeah.
Give
You
me,
can
give
stick
me,
him here all day long.
give me 10 years of Vladdy. Let's go.
He's gonna be on the Mets.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming here, but my God, could you imagine? I mean, you're really looking for a superstar. You know, that's why the Yankees were in the right. If you really think about it, you know, I never bought this idea that the Yankees are better off without Juan Soto. I just think that's just stupidity. I don't care who said it, right? But you're looking for your next superstar, you know, because Judge is, you know, 30, he's going to be 33 this year, right? So, you know, you hope you get 3 or 4 more, you know, top end seasons out of him, but you don't know. Especially when have you ever seen a guy this fucking big in Major League Baseball, you know, be good, you know, deep into his especially deep into his 30s, right? So you're looking for your next superstar. You know, Juan Soto fit that bill. You know, Vlad is the guy who's what, 25, 26 years old. That could be your next superstar, man. Why not? I don't have a problem with it. He's he's a douchebag, but he can be my douchebag.
Exactly. I don't care. Listen, he didn't cheat, so I'll take him. I don't want any of the cheaters off the
If the
Astros.
this is why next off season is, you know, if Soto was a free agent this year, you know, next year would have been the a better year to lose him because you have options. You have Kyle Tucker, you have Vlad Guerrero Jr. That's why it was a terrible year for the Yankees to lose Juan Soto because there's nobody that could replace him. You lose Juan Soto, you sign Vlad Guerrero Jr. Like, okay, I'm good. You lose Juan Soto, you sign Kyle Tucker. Okay, I'm fine with that. You you know, and people, I don't want anybody to sit here and say, "Oh, you're a Yankee fan, you're sour grapes." You can make a legitimate argument that Kyle Tucker is a better all-around baseball player than Juan Soto is. So if you lost Juan Soto and signed Kyle Tucker, you might be coming out ahead on that deal. Because yeah, is Kyle Tucker the hitter that Juan Soto is? No, but Juan Soto can't run the bases really or play defense, and Kyle Tucker does both of those things. So that's why next year the Yankees should be big game hunting, man. You know, they 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 pivoted to Max Fried, which was nice. I like Max Fried. I think he's going to be really good here, but you need that co-superstar with Aaron Judge in this lineup. That's why next year you can't miss on both these guys. It just can't happen. Either you get your long-term first baseman or you get, Kyle Tucker. The thing with Kyle Tucker here is I'll make the argument against him and why, if I'm the Yankees, I do everything in my power to get Vlad Guerrero Jr. on this team is because there's no real first baseman coming through this pipeline. You know, you could look at it and say, well, my outfield is going to be pretty set in 2 or 3 years with Judge, Dominguez, and Spencer Jones. You know, you could always trade somebody if you want to do that, or say when Jones is ready, I could, eventually Judge might play first base. Who knows if we ever get to that point? But it's been a talking point. You know, you could say, okay, we'll sign Tucker, and then when we're ready to bring Jones up, then Judge becomes my first baseman. But I like Judge, Dominguez, and Jones, the potential of that with Guerrero at first base over, maybe Kyle Tucker and then maybe moving Judge to first base or not even having a first baseman. So I don't know, man. Look, there.
That'd be a scary lineup. Can you imagine? You got to pitch to those four people. If Dominguez and Jones end up being what they're supposed to be.
There's no wrong answer, bro. Honestly, if you're telling me you want Kyle Tucker more than Vlad Guerrero Jr., I'm not arguing you. If you want Vladdy more than Tucker, I'm not arguing you. The Yankees have to get one of them. They can't miss this next off season. But we got a long ways to go there. I was asked, I answered. Like I said, you're gonna ask me a question, I'm gonna answer it. Hopefully you like the answer. If you don't get triggered by it. Remember, you asked the question. Okay.
Triggered. I feel like Kyle Tucker has a bit of pain in our side of the way Vlad Guerrero is. If you could get Vlad Guerrero gets off of Toronto, which is going to happen, and then you get him onto the Yankees and not on another team, that would be awesome. I wouldn't hate him anymore. I'd be so happy. That'd be a good day.
I've been seeing a lot of people on social media like, oh, well, George Lombard can't be worse than DJ LeMahieu. Well, let's pump the brakes here for a second, okay? Let's all hope to God that George Lombard is impacting the New York Yankees in a major way in 2 years, maybe three. He's 19 years old. He hasn't played above A ball. He had a 600 OPS last year. I understand that he changed his swing and he's killing it right now. Let's just pump the fucking brakes right now. You know, let's give this kid a chance to develop, see some better pitching, move up the organizational ladder here. Maybe he can be a player in 26. I'm not ready to see George Lombard right now. Same thing with Spencer Jones. I know he's killing it right now. People are saying, "Oh, fuck Dom, man. Let's go with Spencer." Calm down. He's another guy that's got to move past double A, cut his K rate down. And I know he's killing it too, right? Just everybody relax right now. You guys don't want to play Jason Dominguez, who a lot of people will tell you is much more ready than either of those two guys. But then you got people saying, let's get Lombard and Spencer Jones in here. Just pump the brakes for a minute. Let's get Dominguez's feet wet, and then we'll worry about Jones and Lombard in the near future. It's nice that we got prospects that people can be excited about, but I don't it's not time for either of those guys right now. And I get it that you're looking at Jason Dominguez running to walls out there and our shitty third base situation, but let's please understand where those two guys are in their developments before, wanting to rush them to the big leagues.
If you see either one of them this year, I think we're in trouble because either they're going to bring them up just to shut the fans up because we had a terrible season, or there's a lot of injuries. I don't see either one of them being here.
So let me answer Richie's question here. He wanted to know what I thought of John Cena's heel turn from Saturday. I It's probably one of the top 5 moments of my wrestling fandom all time. It was that impactful. It was that well done that I would put it top 5 all time.
What I saw this shit. What was that? The Rock made John Cena. Who what he
Well,
kicked
you know
someone
the
in.
well, you know the real story is the Rock TKO, who owns UFC, owns WWE.
Okay,
Okay. The Dwayne Johnson is legitimately on the board of directors of the TKO board. So
okay,
his new character is the final boss because he technically is the boss. So
okay.
what he wanted to, and do you know who Cody Rhodes is?
Yeah.
Okay, Cody Rhodes is the champion. He ended Roman Reigns' historic title reign last year at WrestleMania. So the whole thing is The Rock wanted his own corporate champion, and he wanted Cody to be his corporate champion. And Cody told him literally to go fuck himself, which they did say the F word unbleeped on the show on Saturday, which made it that much better that they let that out unedited. And when Cody said that, The Rock goes like this, and Cena kicked him in the nuts, and they beat the shit out of him. And then Travis Scott forgot that it's not real and legitimately slapped Cody Rhodes and punctured his eardrum. So what I will
Oh,
say is that uh, I look, I'm talking about Star Wars, and we're gonna do a little wrestling here.
wrestling.
It's
Yeah.
it's not on the level of Hulk Hogan turning heel in 1996. You guys got to chill with that. You show your age when you say shit like that. Hulk Hogan turning heel changed an entire industry. This is just an awesome moment in time that we'll remember forever. It's not going to be industry changing like that was. So, yeah, it was amazing. I've watched the video like 1,000 times because it's fucking awesome. And it's going to be sick to see what happens when he returns to TV and what's going to happen at WrestleMania this year. So I'm glad they gave us something different. Cena's retiring in December, so I'm glad they gave us something different, something to shake it up other than him going through the greatest hits for the next couple months. So, it was a good time. It was entertaining. I was wondering why they were saving The Rock for last instead of the match, and now we know. So there you go. Do you want to get some Star Wars shit in here? I feel like, maybe you want to get some Star Wars shit in here.
No, I'm good. I was gonna ask you if you watched Ricky Stenicki.
I have seen Ricky Stenicki, yes.
That shit was funny.
Yes, for an Amazon straight to streaming movie, I did
It was
enjoy it.
pretty good. Did you watch Peacemaker?
I have not seen Peacemaker.
It is probably the greatest. When I tell you, fuck anybody that doesn't agree with me. It is probably the greatest superhero TV show I've ever watched.
Uh, S- Jay Snow, heel in wrestling vernacular, is a bad guy, which also predates wrestling because the Grinch, if you remember the song The Grinch, he was in the
You
song,
really are a
are a heel.
heel.
Okay, so heel means bad guy. So a heel turn is when a good guy or a quote baby face becomes a bad guy. So there
They
you
heal a
go.
few more times
Heel.
because I'm gonna wait for my dog to start running around because they're playing it this
See, we all
upstairs.
see how it all comes back full circle. We started the show talking about Luis heel, and we're ending the show talking about John Cena turning heel. You know what this is? That's a
Kind of
mic.
how kind of how Anakin Skywalker in episode 3 turned heel when he killed everybody and became a Sith Lord known as Darth Vader.
Aaron MVP. I am 41 years old. I do not play baseball anymore. I played scorekeeper, and that's how I got my varsity letter. I was right-handed, both batting and throwing. Technically, I was a right fielder, but my senior year, we had a regime change, and he told me that he wanted to see. The coach told me that he wanted to see a lot of the younger players because he didn't give a fuck about the seniors. So to keep, but he said he was not going to cut any of the seniors. So I knew a lot of playing time wasn't in my future. So that's how I learned to score baseball games. I kept the books because I didn't want to just sit there and jerk off during the game. I actually wanted to be involved and, you know, invested in what was happening. So that's how I actually learned how to play baseball or score baseball games. So there you go.
Or baseball games.
Do you know how to score a baseball game?
You actually told me how to.
Okay.
Okay.
I
I can't do that. I don't know how you guys do that shit though. 4, 5, 9, 7, 3 play. That shit blows my mind. I can't.
one day when we're not we're not going to do this out of the Audi Club. We'll go to a game where it's more relaxed. I will teach you how to score the game.
But you did. I just can't recall
No,
the numbers that
we're gonna
quick.
sit there and we're gonna actually learn how to do it.
Yeah, it's okay.
My Jay Snow wants to know, did I ever cook the books? No, I got in trouble for not cooking the books. My my coach I scored something, a hit, and he wanted me to put it as an error so our pitcher can get a no hitter. He actually went back and changed the books, but the official scorekeeper of the county didn't recognize his score change. They recognized mine.
Who was your coach?
Mazzo.
I was
He came in my senior year.
really.
Yeah.
He he
Uh
wr- he wrote me up because I helped the kid down the stairs on fucking crutches and I was late to gym. Douche. That was my first attention I ever got in high school.
yeah, so he was mad. He's like, "Why did you score this a hit?" Because it was. He's like, "Well, he got a glove on it." I go, "Did you see how far he ranged for that? That's a fucking hit." I'm arguing with the coach. I was like, it was a fucking hit. You see how far he ranged for it? Who cares? He got his glove on. It's a hit. I'm not giving a third baseman an error for that.
Uh, three
And
weeks.
Jay Snow also wants to know, and we'll close out here. Traditionally, what I do is the first game of the year I go to, I buy a program and I will score the first couple innings because I used to score the whole thing, and then now that I'm older, I have to get up and pee a lot. So by the third or fourth inning, and I've started walking around the concourse a couple of times, but that was usually when I do it. I don't. I like you're spending so much of your time at Yankee Stadium. I don't want to have my face in a scorecard the whole time.
He does. He gets up to pee a lot. Kids try to steal his bobblehead. I have to fight like 5 kids to keep his Frank Sinatra bobblehead. But he doesn't score the games. Christian sits there and he's on Twitter the entire time, and I have to nudge him every time something goes on.
No, I have two eyes. One is tweeting, the other one's looking at the game. You're just mad because you're not getting any attention.
You're a loser. You
Okay.
fucking tweet the entire time you're at the Yankee
I'm
games.
sorry, I'm important, bro.
You're important.
You're a radio star now too, so shut the fuck up.
I'm not a radio star. This is a
Why
podcast.
Which you can listen to on a radio.
That is true. I did used to listen to it on the radio.
So there you go. What do you listen to the show on when you're in the car? You put headphones in, or you play it out of your car radio?
I don't listen to the show.
Well, no, well, maybe you should. This way you can critique your performance and get better.
I can't do that yet. Maybe in like another few weeks.
Well, this has been a pretty good show. This has been. I'm going to put this in a top 5 STEM episode.
Oh, okay. Cool.
No, I'm fucking with you, bro. You're doing
Well,
a great
seasons
job.
get started. Listen. We've been talking about hypothetical shit. We actually know what's going on now. I'm not good at fabricating. You want me to fabricate stuff and say,
No, I
hey,
do. I want you to make everything up.
well, then you just tell me that I'm an asshole. You roll your eyes at me and be like, oh. So I'm like, I'm timid over here. But like, we actually know what's gonna happen. I'm getting excited.
You shouldn't be timid. You should be the guy that was running away from the cops and hiding in bushes on my third date with my wife.
That was once.
It almost ruined my entire relationship.
Once. One time. That wasn't one time. I don't know. Post-it notes, bushes in the corner. I had an interesting.
I only have myself to blame for this. I could have let you unalive yourself numerous times, and I stopped it. Okay, I stopped it. Francis, I don't know if it's a story that we can tell on air, but if you want to hear it on the 29th, we'll gladly tell it.
It wasn't my fault. That was my friend Richard's fault. I was just naive.
Always somebody else's fault.
I was naive. I didn't know what I was doing. I just went with the flow.
Going back to when you were like 2 or 3 years old, and I jumped in the pool after you. I could have ended all. I could have ended all this just then, but no. I had to be the good older cousin, and it's just continued for the last 30 fucking years. So whenever I get mad at you, I have to look in the mirror and say, "You did this.
It's your fault.
You did this.
It's your fault. You're such a douche."
You know I love you.
Yeah.
So anyway, next week, we are looking forward to next week's episode. We're just going to spoil it here right now. If you've been with us all night, we want to thank you. If you haven't liked this video yet, please do so. If you haven't subscribed to NYY Underground yet, please do so. But next week is the return of Fred. That is right. We're doing Fred's projections next week. Longtime listeners of the NYYST podcast know about Fred. This will be Sem's first time hanging out with Fred. So it should be a fun episode. We may or may not have a couple of special guests join us for Fred next week. So it's going to be an amazing episode. It's always one of my favorite shows to do all year. So join us for Fred's projections next week live here on NYY Underground, 8 p.m. on Wednesday night. Hopefully nobody gets injured, okay? And we can just straight bang out Fred. See, Richie knows. Tell Fred 3 drink max. That's right. Stumbling alcoholic bum. So hopefully we can just dive right into Fred and we don't have to worry about talking about more goddamn injuries. So we want everybody to join us next week for Fred. And we'll be sitting here a mere 2 weeks then at that point away from opening day. We're so excited that the season's ready to start. We want to thank everybody again for joining us in the chat tonight. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast platform on Thursday morning, please subscribe there as well. Tell everybody NYYST is the official Yankee podcast of Odyssey. Thank you for your continued support of NYY Underground and the NYYST podcast. Thank you for listening and watching episode 450. Sem, Jesus. Even when you've done this 450 times, you still screw up the ending once in a while. Sem, say goodbye.
See ya.
Can't make a promise, but I do my best. 25 sitting on 25 racks. Just got started, no, we ain't done yet. Bought a new crib, that's a goddamn flex.